So you're running a mission-critical mobile deployment, and something happens. You've got to figure out where and what's the problem and how to resolve it. There's really a complex infrastructure behind mobility that spans the devices, the wireless carrier, all your infrastructure, and your back end. And it's like finding a needle in the haystack. The issue could be on the devices with a user or data cache corruption. The issue could be at the carrier or at the NOC. The issue could be at the firewall, and the issue could be with your servers on the back end. Something with GFE, for example, server contention or time bomb. Something with Exchange being offline or over quota, or something else somewhere else in the infrastructure. It could be a single user that's impacted. It could be a system-wide impact. So how do you find that needle in the haystack? Well, BoxTone helps you find that needle in the haystack. Whether you're service desk or IT operations, BoxTone helps you isolate and resolve these issues quickly and tune your system to reduce issues so you can keep your users happy with their mission-critical deployment. When a user calls support with an issue, IT support wants to be able to resolve that issue quickly. So let's look for user Amy Madden. Amy's our VIP who has called the IT support desk, and Amy's having a problem with her mobile device. Now with BoxTone for Good, Mobile Service Management, here we get the support role. And so we can see user Amy Madden, and she's the Director of Sales. And we can see that she has two devices. She has an iPhone 4S, and she has a Verizon Zyboard. We can see that BoxTone is immediately alerted that there's an issue with the iPhone 4S. As we look on the right-hand side here, we can see that the issue has immediately been identified as a database cache failed. Here we see some simple text from the BoxTone knowledge base explaining what the issue is, and then we get simple step-by-step instructions on how to resolve that issue. So rather than spending 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour troubleshooting a particular user issue when a VAP is angry and wants to get back into production, instead by running BoxTone you can immediately see what is wrong and how to fix it. We can see here under the Messages tab that no message information is flowing. So we can go under the Status tab, take the following steps, and then we'll see that the message is clear. Now let's take a quick look at the Verizon Zyboard here, which is the other device she's running. Here we can see that it's an employee-owned device and that there are no problems with this device. We can see that BoxTone is monitoring the performance of that device and can see the flow of data of messages sent to and from the device. You can kind of think of it like a cardiac monitor monitoring the heartbeat of the device. We can also see information about the history of the device, and we can see information about applications on the device. Oh, we can even notice here that there are 2 blacklisted apps that they have installed, and IT is being alerted to that. So there we have it, quickly resolving an issue for Amy Madden. Now if the user was Amanda, let's say Amanda calls later that day and Amanda has an issue, and let's take a look at Amanda's problem. Here we look up Amanda Cole. Again, we see that she has 2 devices. She has an iPad and she has a BlackBerry Bold. Let's take a look at what's going on with her iPad, which is running the Good mobile messaging platform. We can see that she has a paused user. Again, BoxTone has immediately identified the issue with that device, explained through step-by-step instructions what's going on with the device, and simple step-by-step recommendations about how to resolve it. Instant diagnostics without 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour worth of probing around trying to figure out what's wrong. We can see no messages are flowing, and therefore BoxTone understands the real-time status and situation. In this way, Amanda's issue can be resolved very quickly. Now let's notice also that Amanda has a BlackBerry Bold. Here we can click on the BlackBerry Bold to see what's wrong as well. We can see that she's got the dreaded non-responsive user thread detected. For those of you who are good admins who are also managing BlackBerry, you'll see a similar kind of real-time diagnostics with simple step-by-step instructions on how to resolve the issue. And so from this perspective now, IT support has one place to go to resolve issues, whether it's an iPhone or an iPad, whether it's running Good or whether it's running BlackBerry. Let's take a look at a third user, Zachary Riley, R-I-L-E-Y. And so Zachary Riley calls, and Zachary's got an issue with his device. Here we can see again that Zachary has 2 devices. He's got his Samsung Galaxy S3, and we can see he has an iPhone 4S. And this is interesting because this particular Galaxy is a compromised device, so a compliance violation has been detected. Many times the problem that the user has is actually the result of a compliance action, perhaps. So when something happens, such as violating with compromised device, the system will automatically block his access. Well, to Zachary, it'll look like the system's not working, so it will cause a help desk. So security resolutions can often cause the support calls. Now you can immediately address those issues, identify what's wrong, and walk them through fixing it. Take a look at his iPhone 4S. Here's a healthy device. We can see that there are no problems with the device. We can see that messages are properly flowing back and forth the device. We can see his history, and we can see his apps. So there you have it, one place to go for your IT support team so they can instantly see what's going on with all the user's devices, applications, and services and quickly resolve those issues, collapsing a 30 to 60-minute support call to just a few minutes through the instant diagnostics, embedded knowledge base, and easy ability to fix things fast. Now let's look at the mobile IT operations role. Here we see the BoxTone for Good real-time dashboard. And this dashboard shows us exactly what's going on right now and for the past 3 hours across our mobile environment, including our good mobile messaging servers, our users, and our carrier information. We can see in the center here that there are 4 GMM servers running in our environment. And in fact, the top 2 servers are running in our North American data center. The bottom left-hand server is running in Asia. And the bottom right-hand server is running in Europe. And as we look at this, you can see that this looks like a real-time cardiac monitor for this individual server. We can see that there are key metrics that BoxTone is tracking based on what we've learned are the most important metrics to understand about your good environment. Whether it's service lifecycle or not connection, errors, total error count, users and device errors, flow control or user pause status, and of course inbound and outbound volume. You can think of BoxTone like that real-time cardiac monitor because what it's doing is it's watching every transaction flow for every user, for every piece of data going back and forth between the mobile devices, the GMM server, and the back-end infrastructure. Once you're measuring all that flow data, now you get that real-time visibility. As we take a look at this particular environment, we can see that there's a pattern of issues mirrored on both servers coming out of our North American data center. It actually turns out as you drill in that the issue is a firewall patch. The firewall was patched overnight, and when that firewall patch went in, the firewall obviously went down and therefore no data was flowing. So the outage that the executive might have called on is the result of an infrastructure issue, the firewall specifically, and not an issue with a particular server. And so that's the real-time visibility that BoxTone brings, so you can see what's going on, understand the status of what's going on, and resolve those quickly. We can see here, in fact, that users' errors started to crank up right before the particular outage. An alert would have been fired. Then the outage occurred. You can see the error spike and the message flow ends. And then it clears and the system is back in a healthy state on both servers. On our lower left-hand server, we can see that there's an outage as denoted by the red dot, and we've received an alert on that we'll see in a moment. And on the lower right here, we can see that this server has very high utilization, but it's still up and running in a healthy state. On the right-hand side, we can see all our users. We can see that there are 7 of our 381 users in an error condition. We can look at those individual users. And we can see information about our carriers down here. And in particular, which carriers are healthy and which are not. And this is how BoxTone views users grouped by carrier, so you can see when there are carrier outages. This is the power of BoxTone. The BoxTone for Good IT Operations Dashboard provides that real-time end-to-end visibility so you can see what's going on right now, you can see the past 3 hours of history, and you can quickly address issues to keep your users in production. Proactive alerting is really the cornerstone of BoxTone because you want to be alerted before things fail so you can take action and fix issues before users call. So let's take a look at some alerts with BoxTone. So here, for example, is a server service error alert. Receive this error alert, and it says that users have been paused for an extended duration. So BoxTone is now alerting me to say that you need to resolve this issue on this particular server machine and gives me simple step-by-step instructions so I can take action to do that quickly. It also includes an embedded link at the bottom so I can drill in for more details. So the benefits of BoxTone for clear. For IT operations, it's all about moving from reactive to proactive. Fewer incidents, lower cost per incident, and the confidence to scale faster on less hardware. For support, it's really moving out of that firefighting stage because now what you can get is a 70% higher first call resolution rate. Most calls are resolved on that first call. Faster mean time to repair, shorter troubleshooting times, and fewer escalations from frontline support up through support teams into service desk. That dramatically reduces your total cost of ownership and your support overhead. And then finally, more predictable user experience, less downtime and greater productivity enables the business to benefit more and really drives additional mobile projects and applications into the environment. So putting it all together, grow and transform your business with good. Leverage BoxTone for Good mobile service management to scale faster at a lower cost.